dear devotees. Today we will discuss in the light of Bhagavata what is this creation and why we should discuss that also. We will go to that. And before that, as usual, let us chant these wonderful verse. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogibhi Dhyanagamyam Bande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaika Natham. So He's everything. He's creating, He's preserving and holding, and again He is taking His creation within Himself. So Srishti, Sthiti and Pralaya. This is the manifestation of the same, the spiritual, highest, all-pervading consciousness. Now we are studying the 10 special features of the Bhagavata. The last time we have discussed the 20 questions of the king who is awaiting his death. And he asked these questions to a great personality, Shukadeva. This Shuka, his knowledge was unfathomable. And this Shukadeva, he is answering these questions. And in the 10th chapter, he starts giving this answer. The great divider of the Vedas, Veda Vyasa, is also the composer of the Vedanta Sutras or the Brahma Sutras, we know it. Also wrote 17 Puranas. And then finally, as his last work, he took the essence of all his scriptures and he made this wonderful scripture, Bhagavata. He composed this Bhagavata. Bhagavata is not a Purana, it is a Mahapurana. At the end of every chapter, it is mentioning, Bhagavata is mentioning, Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurane Paramhamsyam Samhitayam Vaisasikyam, etc. Iti Srimad. Iti means the end, the last of the chapter. Chapter of what? Srimad Bhagavate. This is the great scripture. Why Srimad? Is a great respect is given to the writing. The Srimad is as holy as God Himself, this scripture. And this is the name of this scripture is Bhagavata. It is Mahapurana. And this Mahapurana for whom? Paramhamsha. The Bhagavata is not only Purana. This is the highest rank of renouncers, highest rank of renouncers, Paramahamsas. You know, the monk, they have different categories. The highest category is the Paramahamsa. Why? That sometimes the monks, they understand that this worldly thing is binding him. So he goes in a retreat and hides himself. But the Paramahamsa is a very powerful monk. He lives in this world with everyone, with everything, but not bound by anything. So that is called Paramahamsa. We call Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna as the Paramahamsa. And this is the Samhita. This Vedavyasa wrote it, and then he taught it to his illustrious son, Shukadeva, the great monk, then taught it to other monks and munis. Why we are mentioning these? Because sometimes some people they think that Bhagavata is only for some devoted people, emotional people. They will be reading about the life of Krishna and they will be singing bhajans. And most of our teachers, we can say, who are narrating Bhagavata always gives this type of expression. The Bhagavata means you have to sing the name of God, you have to dance. I attended one function over here in Chicago, and not that. It's a blend of knowledge and devotion. Bhagavata is containing the pure knowledge and along with the devotion. And then the karma, that is also there. And you have to strive. The jivas, the individual soul, it is your responsibility. You have to strive, you have to understand that karma is also there. Swami Vivekananda once mentioned, I like to give the purest of the pure Vedanta soaked in the syrup of devotion and then fried it in karma. Then present it to the society so that even a child will also understand the highest and the subtlest intricacy of the Vedanta. You are God, it's not an ordinary word. Tat Tvamasi is not an ordinary word. Just you listen and then as if you are listening some song or some poems and then you are forgetting, not like that. This is the truth, ultimate truth. And before that, to understand that, you have to prepare yourself. So this goes in this way. This is an ancient history, authentically recorded by some excellent personalities known as Sutta. And those who are reading the Bhagavata again and again coming to the Sutta. Not that the Suttas were all Brahmins or the Munis. Not like that. They're all ordinary people, but highly intellectual. They could memorize things just like a picture. So that way, this sutta, they were the possessors of the very short memories. They used to travel a lot and they used to gather the different information, including the kings and their kingdoms, conditions of their subjects, culture, time, etc. So this is the sutta. This here we find one sutta. He is explaining where from he heard, where from he learned, from Shukadeva. And now this moment we are hearing it directly from the Shuka because the sutta is telling, but as if it's just giving a graphic description of that condition. One king, he was a very famous king, but he did only one little mistake. And he was cursed by a very powerful Brahmana. He's a young boy who was having a miraculous power. As because the king insulted his father, this young boy could not restrain, immediately get the curse that you will die within 7 days. And the king was a great personality. Naturally, he was not angry. He was not taking to go for any revenge. Rather, he thought this is an opportunity that I should withdraw myself. He knew that this world is futile, it is temporary. Whatever I try to grab, it is going to go out of my hand. So why unnecessarily I will waste time? And this is the vairagya. When you read the Bhagavad Gita, same type of condition comes in the mind of the Arjuna. Despondency, facing the death. Either I am going to kill them or they are going to kill me. That is the condition the Arjuna was standing. And then he was thinking, why not? I give up the whole work and go? Krishna told, no. Through work only you will get the liberation. And here also we find the king, this Arjuna's grandson. He is also waiting for the death peacefully. And he is asking spiritual questions. Usually the Puranas are having 5 features. Just any book cannot be Purana. It should have 5 features. And Bhagavata is having 10 features. Dashama, the second book, there is a skanda, 10th chapter, that Adhyaya. And it begins with, the first verse begins with Sri Badarayani Ubacha. Badarayan, son. That is our Vyasa. The Vyasa's name was Badarayan and his son Badarayani. That is the style of telling that. Badarayani Ubacha. He said. What he said? Atra Sargo Visargo Sthanam Poshanam Utayaha Mannantara Ishanukatha Nirodha Mukti Asrayaha. These are the 10 different features we will discuss. Badarayan's son is telling this. What is that? Swarga. It's not having any bafala. It's sarga. Only sa and ga. Sarga. Sarga means the creation. The creation, this is sarga. And swarga is the heaven. So these are the little difference. Sarga and swarga. The swar is W or bafala is mean heaven. Only sa is this creation. It's the sarga, creation. So they will be explaining about the creation. This book, this Bhagavata is going to explain about the creation. Then Visarga. What is this Visarga? Is the creation of various beings by the Brahman, Brahma. That some of the people, they always confuse, and Hindus are also confused, Brahman and Brahma. It's so close. The Brahman is the all-pervading consciousness, and Brahma is the firstborn. Who created him? That all-pervading consciousness, which is known as Vishnu. Vistareti Vishnu. That means he is all-pervading. As because he is all-powerful, he created the one to help him for the creation. And that is Brahma. Brahma was created from the first one. So this Brahma. Now the Brahma's responsibility was to create. So he was creating. That creation is Visarga. And what is Sarga? What that Supreme God, Supreme Being, without the help of anyone, created. That is Sarga. So Sarga, Visarga. Then Sthana or Sthiti. Either Sthana or Sthiti, they say. Lord's action to protect the world. That is called Sthiti or Sthana. This Sthiti is the protection that the God will give. We will discuss a little elaborately afterwards. This is the Lord's action. He may not. But usually He gives this Sthiti. Then comes Poshana. Poshana, granting the protection. He is making some system so that this creation is sustaining. And in this creation, among the created beings, some are there Well, just like the babies, they cannot do anything, they depend on God. And this God directly protecting that being is called Poshana. Then come Uti. This Uti is the karmic tendencies of the beings. Karmic tendencies, karma, that's the action, always comes in the mind, one after another, where from it comes and where it goes ultimately. It is says that karmic tendency, the Uti. Then Manantara. Manantara is the time. Now what is this world? The whole world is time, space and causation and nothing else. And beyond this time, space and causation is the ultimate, that is spirituality, spiritual world. So the mundane world and the spiritual world, what is the difference? The spiritual world is beyond time, space and causation. But the mundane world begins with the time. Without the time, nothing is there. And so the God, that supreme being, he created Manantara. Why this Manantara? We will come afterwards. Then Ishanukatha. Then after the creation, now after this creation, you have to come out of this creation. So the God is again providing, he is directly doing it, not through Brahma, he is directly doing it. He created all this. Then how these jivas, these created beings, they will come out of this. He is telling Ishanukatha. That is the stories of the incarnations, or the stories or the thought about the God. Only through that one can go beyond this creation. This is. Then last comes another two, Nirodha. This Nirodha means when the whole creation is, as they call, last day is going to be destroyed. It's not destroyed. It goes back again in a form and wait over there to again manifest. Tree is dropping the fruit and germinating over there, waiting to come up again as a tree. That is the period called Pralaya. The God creating and then sometime going down, again going back in this pristine form, and waits again when the desire will come for creation, again it will create. And what will happen to the jivas? And suppose we are very clever and we will calculate when we are going to have the last day. Okay, if the last day has come very close, let us do anything that we like. Any immoral things, because we are going to be destroyed, and after that destruction again the new creation. At that time who will go where we never know. So let us do that. No. Sometimes some people, they give the example like the earthen pot. Now the earthen pot breaking and it goes and merges in the earth. Again the potter will take the earth and make an earthen pot. It may not be the same earth. If a jiva, same way, after death or after the completely dissolution of this creation, then in the next creation he is fresh. No. That karmic theory, even in that, all your tendencies and your result of your karma, it will potentially, it will be there. And where it will be? Within the body of the same Supreme God. It will merge in God, but not as God, but is separate. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he gives is a beautiful way, he says, when this cultivation period is over, then the lady of the house will collect all the seeds and she will preserve it in different small packets, not mixing up, keeping different seeds in different packets, and then he will keep it in the hearts in the villages. He will keep it in a box and put it in the somewhere in the heart and wait for the next season to come. And the next season, again the rain comes, again the tilting the land, then she will bring down that particular box and take out one after another small packet and will ask his people to go and start. Same way, if a person, if a being is doing some bad karma, it is not destroyed unless and until you yourself is completing it. So that is called Nirodha. That type of cessation is called Nirodha. It is not complete because you are still bound by your karma, but this very moment you are not. Sometimes some do some bad work and they will go out somewhere and the law of the land couldn't reach to him and he thinks so it is okay. After 20 years when he thinks that everybody has forgotten, now let me go back to my place, my country. The moment he will get down again from the computer, his picture and all the details about him will pop up. Oh, this is the man. They will arrest him again. And this happened again and again. This is the Nirodha. And there is another stage which is called Mukti. Mukti or liberation. This is Mukti means you have completed your karma. There is no other karma phala. And you are merging in that Supreme Self where from you came. And that Supreme Self is known as Asraya. This Asraya is Brahman or Paramatman. This is the Asraya. About this Sarga and Visarga, the third verse of the 10th chapter, it says, Bhutamatra Indriya Dhiya Janma Sarga Udaritaha Brahmana Guna Vaishamyat Visarga Purusha Smrita. In Sanskrit when we write one after another, but in Sanskrit that sloka, they'll be putting one word over here, then another letter over here, and you have to take it and then make the proper meaning. This is the speciality of the Sanskrit language, and you have to learn how to take this word and then add with the other one, then the meaning is coming properly. The origin of the various categories from Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva, that supreme being, to Mahabhuta. Mahabhuta, the gross elements, we'll come to that slowly, began, now this is a very unique point, began when the equality, equilibrium that broke in the Prakriti. When the equilibrium broke in the Prakriti, in the nature, that's the primal energy, due to the divine will, why suddenly it broke? It was very calm and nothing was there. Suddenly, as if some gust of wind came from nowhere and then met the ripples and the waves on that water. And the moment it started, then different type of creation. When it was tranquil, nothing was there, it was all calm and composed. I don't know whether you have gone to our Gomukh, the source of Ganga. Early morning if you go, no water, no Ganga, it's all frozen snow. And if you go and make the sound, because it is like a hollow and the top glaciers all around, and the monks they go and sit, and we walk on the Ganga because there was no other path. It's all frozen, hard. Only thing, some people know where to walk, where to place their feet, because sometimes it is soft Below there may be water, but all over the frozen. You go, sit over there, wait for the sun to come, and if you are just uttering the Om, it goes on echoing so many times. This is beautiful. But that moment there is no creation. Nothing is there. Only one, that all over the white snow, and there's no sound even. It's very high. Obviously you cannot see even the top of that glacier. Only you can see a patch of sky, and you are quietly sitting over there. Suddenly there will be a sound. That sound may be compared as a desire of God. And why it is, nobody knows. Who is going to ask the God, why you desired in that way? But the desire is here. And then slowly the snows are breaking and the water start falling from there. And below also the flows start coming. And then within almost no time there will be a river in front of you. And if you make a mistake and sitting on the river, that will be the last experience. So that's why those who are experienced, they will say, sit here, because that is a river. It will become river within no time. The moment the sun arises, everything starts melting, and there will be sound, there will be activity, and there will be waves, there will be flow. See, from nothing, from no creation, creation begins. That is exactly, it says that the Bhutamatam, the origin of this, it begins from the Ichcha, desire. Why? The moment the God desired, then his nature is known as Prakriti. His own power is known as Prakriti. And Prakriti always creates. That's why the Hindus, they symbolizes Prakriti as a lady. And you see the God, and we always consider the left side of the God remains God's Prakriti. The power. That through that power God does everything. God's power, but given in this way. So that is Prakriti. The Brahmana, the great God, Guna Vaisamyat. And when there is a Sattva, Raja and Tama, these are the three gunas. Those who are trying to understand the Hindu philosophy, Hindu religion, these three words they must remember. Because everything begins with these three, Sattva, Raja and Tama. When they are in the same number, in equilibrium, no creation. The moment they are in different numbers, in different forms, and that time the creation begins. Sometimes very bad, sometimes in between, sometimes very good. Sattva, Raja and Tama. The Guna Vaisamya, breaking the equilibrium, differences come. But why the equilibrium? Breaking divine will. There no one can answer. Swami Vivekananda, when he was asked, why? And in the first time the creation began. Swamiji in his own way, Swami Vivekananda said, Hindus are bold enough to say, we do not know. Because up to that we cannot reach. After the creation only we can understand. Before that nobody can say anything. Now, in the Vedantic way, they say, Eko aham bahushyamavihi. Eka aham, I, Eka, I am one, but I am not liking it. I like to be many. How he will be many? From himself. Bahushyamavihi. Now one person used to live all alone in a forest. He said, no, it's boring. I love this nature, but I need some company. So he again goes to the city, and so many people. Then there will be friends, there will be enemies, there will be appreciation, there will be criticism, so many activities will begin. When he was all alone, nothing was there. The moment he comes, then why he comes? A desire. What is the desire? I want to be many. Here also. Now how the creation is coming? Sarga. This sarga is directly done by that Supreme Being. We should understand this. Now sometimes this Vedanta, it says that you are not created at all. Kim rodasi saki tai sarva shakti. In Sanskrit they say, why you are crying, my friend? Sakhe, you are the supreme power. But that is all right. This creation is not there. In Hindi they say, Jagat teen kal mein hai hi nahi. तो क्यों आप लोग ऐसे कर रहे हो? 3 कल में तो है नहीं, बट भूख लगने से आप कहाँ जा रहे हो? When you are hungry, then where you go? The person who says Jagat is not in this world, nothing is there, no creation, but do you sit quietly? When you are hungry, you go to the people, you beg, you eat. When the action is there, that means Jagat is also there. So we have to understand this. That is exactly what Ramakrishna is telling. Again and again, you have to understand your own position. And from there you have to begin. Otherwise, you are making a mistake. I can't climb even the 10 steps. And if I decide to climb on the top of a hill, Himalaya, what will happen? Maybe or may not be an information, one line. One fool tried to climb and dead. So that's all. So that is that will happen. So when we are trying to understand the self, before that we have to understand our position. And what is the position? This, because we are created being, we are we are breathing, we are touching, we are seeing, we are smelling, and all these things are creating so many ripples in our mind, sometimes good, sometimes bad, and sometimes nothing. It goes on. We cannot avoid that. So we have to be very careful before you step into the house of pure Vedanta. That is the goal, that is the ashraya. But before that, what is my position? And that is why Bhagavata, he is giving the complete idea about this world. Who created? That Supreme God. What he created? First, Bhutani. And this Bhutani, how he created? Kshiti means the earth, Apa the water, Teja the fire, Maruta the air, and the Bhoma the space. These are the 5 only. And Hindus are very fond of 5. Anything the 5. The first 5. And this, if you know, the first 5, they are Kshiti, Apa, Tej, Marut, Bom. And you look at any Hindu temple you go, and not that all the time in the Hindu temple, if you go to Le Monde and you go and stand, they will only show the light and they will give you prasad because there is no time. But when they are worshipping, and then in the evening or in the morning they are doing the arati, at that time they will take these 5 things only. Representing the earth, they will take the flower. Representing the water, they will take the conch. Of course, the water is there. Representing the teja, the fire, they will show the fire. And air, they will have fanning. And vyoma, the space, you will find, they will take a piece of cloth and doing like this. Maybe or may not be the person, the purohit, the priest who is doing it, doesn't know. Only going on doing as a traditionally, these are the 5 things we always do like that. But if you understand, you will understand that is the beginning. And there is no other 6th thing. With that thing only, combination, permutation and combination of these 5 things. And that is the creation. Then come matrani. What is that matra? Smell, the gandha, taste, rasa, form, rupa, tongue, sparsha, and sound, shabda. So these are the 5 things constantly we are enjoying. There's some people, they cannot listen to the sound. Some people don't have the taste. Anything if you give, that's all right for them. But a normal person will have all these 5 things: Gandha, Rasa, Rupa, Sparsha, and Shabda. And then come Indriyani. But how to experience it? Then it's the Indriyani. What is the Indriya? The God, the Supreme God, first creating these. The Shiti, Apatej, Marubhyo. Then who will enjoy? He is creating the being. And first he is giving these 5 senses. And how to enjoy the smell if you don't have the nose? How to enjoy the taste if you don't have the tongue? So the God is giving Nasika, then Jiva, then Chakshu, then Tak, then Karna, nose, tongue, eye, skin and ear. So these are the 5 Indriya. Indra means the senses, and through that we are enjoying. And after enjoying, we are just getting it. Now you go, and your Chakshu, your eye, saw when you were driving a big aim somewhere. Oh, that means McDonald. So let me drive. So what is that? Exit, 27 exit. So I take go to the McDonald. So fast created from where? Eye. And then we go to and then we spread the hand, give me that one. And then testing. So action is necessary. Who will do the action? I can only see and give you the report, there is a shop. But you have to do the action. Then your Bak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha, these are the 5 karmendriyas, the senses of action. So how many it comes? 5 Mahabhuta, 5 Tanmatra, 5 Gyanendriya, 5 Karmendriya. So 5 into 4, 20. Then ultimately, who is going to enjoy? I am going to eat, I am going to see, I am going to smell, ahamkara. So this ahamkara, the ego, along with that, mana, buddhi and chitta. Mana, buddhi and chitta, the mind actually can't take decision. But that is a faculty of that mind called mana. Buddhi takes the decision. I am going to do this. And then finally chitta, that is the storehouse. All these things are there in the store. And these are the 4. Ahamkara, mana, buddhi and chitta. So total 24. This is the 24 tattva, they say. Tattva means this is the whole creation. There is not any extra, only 24. These 24 tattvas, if we can understand, this 24 tattva is known as Sarga. Who created? The Supreme God, Supreme Being Himself. Then afterwards, all the creation that comes, the combination and permutation with all these things, who does? Brahma, and that is known as Visarga. The Sarga and the Visarga. Then comes the Sthiti, the Supreme God. In the Bhagavata, they always take us to a God named Narayana. Why Narayana? Because the God, it was not having any form. Then slowly it started melting because the devotion came. Devotion is just like something liquid. So Nara, that is the water he created from his own being. And he stayed inside that Nara. That's why his name became Narayana. Because Narayana, who stayed inside the water. And who created the water? Him. Now who stayed? He. So Nara and Narayana. This Narayana created the matter, Vastu, and the being, the Jiva, and he has created the system to protect them, and that is called Sthiti. Now Vastu, the object is there. Only object is there, and no one to go and enjoy. What is the use of that object? So obviously, now gold was there, jewelries were there in somewhere. There is no value. Then someone went, found that, then brought it, and then he told other people it is there. They started going over there. Then some people started giving the decoration in that gold, and so many things that way. The Vastu, that is the matter, is taking shape, and then it is getting really the importance. Through whom? Jiva. If you don't have any interest, then why these people will create so many things? All people one day decided that we are not going to purchase anything. So will they start the factory and the marketing and all these things? Nothing will be there. So this is our desire. We want to have that. So that is the reason that God created the object, Vastu, and to enjoy that, He created the Jiva. The Jivas are very intellectual beings. God gave the intellect to the Jivas so that they can go and utilize it, use it. Now, this way the Sthiti, how the God is giving the Sthiti? So one example we can give. A young girl, he is not attached to any baby. She goes and sees that baby, oh, how are you, that much. Moment that very girl becomes mother, so much attachment for that baby. She will sacrifice everything for the sake of that baby. Where from this change come? From God. That is the Prakriti, that is the nature. Young man, he was free, fun-loving, and then he becomes the father. The responsibility of the father comes. No, I have to earn money, I have to look after my baby. And every evening he is coming and taking that baby on his lap. He is so happy. Where from these changes come? Just accident? No. So this we have to understand. God has created this Sthiti. This Sthiti is a great thing. In our mind, in the mind of the monks, it is not there. And that's why the Hindu monks are not very auspicious in the marriage ceremony. Sometimes some people there, Swamiji, please come and bless. We don't go. We say, no, see, that feeling is completely absent in our mind. We won't be able to pray for you. After that you come, then we will pray for you. But before that, it's better not to invite us. Why? That sthiti, that particular thing is not. Our mind is full of any suffering, any. We don't know them. We don't care about their religion. We don't care about their language or anything. Only that person is suffering. He must have to do something. Where from that comes? In the mind of the monks, again that God, Sthiti. Now sometimes the monks, they practice Ajagara Vritti. That's very special. The Ajagara means the python, it never goes for hunting. It will be lying down in one place. And anything coming before its mouth, you will simply suck it. That's all. And again lying down over there. In Narottam Nagar, in Arunachal Pradesh, I saw so many pythons. They will be never moving. You can just go and pick it up and it will never do anything. Just like a rope. But the moment you go near to the mouth, and if it is hungry, dangerous. So that called ajagara, like the python, vritti, the tendency, the monk will never go for begging, never go for asking. He'll be sitting under a tree and completely depending on the God. You have created me. It is your responsibility to give me food. Otherwise I will die. It's okay for me. If you want me to die, I'm ready. If you want me to survive, send food. He's sitting over there. And it guards, it does it. Food comes. So this is called the sthiti. Then prasthana or poshana. This not prasthana, poshana. Poshana, this means the Supreme God, the gracious protection. The time is short, I will give you just how the protection. One beautiful incident happened in Dakshineshwar where Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was there and he himself narrated it. You know, in those days, the landlords used to keep the powerful people, the wrestlers particularly, as their guards. And sometimes the other wrestlers will come and challenge that wrestler. And if he cannot defeat the challenger, then he will lose his job. The landlord will employ this man. The other one, it will like that. Dakshineshwar, the person who was there for a long time, and no one came to challenge him, so naturally he forgot the practice of the wrestling and all that. And seeing the other people, he used to go to the temple, he developed the devotion, he used to pray to the mother. Then suddenly from another place, maybe from UP, they always practice this wrestling. A very powerful person came and challenged this man. And he became terrified. He came to Sri Ramakrishna, what I will do? Then Sri Ramakrishna told, you strive, you try, and also pray. So both things, you strive, you try, but also pray. So this man, he was again preparing for the wrestling competition, but he used to go to the temple and cry before the mother. Mother, I was here under your protection for such a long time. I've forgotten all those things and please help me. You know the result? I think I need not to announce it. And this lean and thin person who forgot almost all the practices of the wrestling, he defeated that very powerful, strong person in no time. How it was possible? And Sri Ramakrishna was among many, he was also observing the wrestling competition. And maybe his blessings. And this lean and thin person, when the other person was eating a lot and putting all the oil on his body and as all the wrestling, and this person was going on, even in the arena, and he was going on praying to Mother. Mother saved him. He won that wrestling game. This is called Poshana, special grace. Poshana is the special grace. There is a beautiful story, and that is true. In the Bhagavatam, Prahlada, most of the Indians they know. And there are beautiful books nowadays for the children, the Prahlada. If you have not read, please purchase and give it to your son or give it to your children. Let them know only through devotion, protected by God. His father, the Hiranyakashipu, is completely against the God. And he tried to kill his own son so many times, so many varieties way. Every time the child was saved. That's called Poshana. There's another story, they say one king was there, very devoted to Krishna. And he had a time, this 2 hours I am not going to go anywhere, whatever happens. He was meditating and praying, and that was known to his enemy. This is the time when he'll be praying and he'll never come out. Let us go and attack him. So naturally they keep all information, and that particular time they attacked. The soldiers were waiting for the command of the king. King was meditating. And what to do? When the sound came, he told his God, I am not going to break my promise. 2 hours, I should be over here. Let them come and kill me. But I am not going to break my promise. Afterwards, when he got up after 2 hours, he took his all soldiers away into the field, and where? All the enemies are all dying over there, and the king of the opposition who attacked, he was there and he was praying. And what happened to you? Oh, you're only one soldier, and give wonderful color. The blue color he came, and only one soldier, he fought against our thousands and killed them. King told, one soldier, blue color? I never sent anyone, I don't know anyone. King ran back. He found his own horse still sweating. And then he ran to the temple and he saw the blood stain in the dress of the Krishna. You understand in your own way. I am not going to explain. But this is called Poshana. And another is Uti. The Uti is the desires. UTI. And that is the problem for the human being. In the Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, 37th verse, Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava mahashana mahapapna viddinna iha bairinam. Those who are trying to realize God, practicing spirituality, these are the 2 words they should remember. It's not the other things. Nothing. All the moment you become religious, don't touch me, don't give this food, I am not going to go to them. All these things goes. That's foolishness. Within your heart, your enemy is sitting. What is that? Your desire, kama. And when the desire is not fulfilled, krodha. These are the 2 desires, two things. Mahashana, mahapapma. They are the most sin, greatest sin. Be careful about them. So Krishna is telling to his friend Arjuna. And here the Eshana, the desire means in Sanskrit called Eshana. Usually 3. One is Putraishana, is a progeny. Vittaishana, the wealth. And Lokaishana, prosperity, a popularity we can say, Lokaishana. And Lokaishana is the last bondage of the spiritual people. Putraishana, most of the monks, they are not having. Vittaishana, because we know all our fund is there in the pockets of our devotees, so no problem. So, I don't have any bank balance or any bank account. I have no problem. Any problem, immediately I send out a flyer. We are in great trouble, there is no water. Immediately people come. So that is also good for but the Lokaishana. That is the popularity, the last, the bane of spiritual people. And majority, they are bound by that. So one should be very, very careful. But this uti, the desire, are having 2 types. One good desire, sukriti. Another bad desire. Duskriti. What is the duskriti? Selfish, egoistic work. Duskriti. Desire, the desire is there, Ichha is there, but if it is for the selfish and egoistic, that's called Duskriti, it bounds. But the Sukriti, that is also Eshana, there is also desire. But I like to do good to others. That is called Sukriti. Then comes the time. Is the traditionally accepted that from the time of the great Manu, the founder of the book of law, Dharma Shastra, the calculation of time began. But Manu is not the name of a person, Manu is a position. And from the beginning to now, till now, it is 12 Manus. 14 Manus are there. The first Manu is Swayambhuva. Swayambhuva is the first Manu. And from that time, the calculation of time began. And we know some of the Manus. One is Daksha. Daksha Jagga Vinashinai Mahaghora. In the time of Durga Puja, we know that Daksha. There is also a Manu. Another Sabarni. Sabarni Suryatanayo. In the Chandi, there is also the Manu. And Vaivashvata. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling, I told this particular yoga to Vaivashvata. There is also Manu. This is the position. If you practice very sincerely and want to control this world, you will become a Manu. Afterwards, let me pray for that. But I would suggest not to have any desire. Then how to go beyond this? Ishanu Katha. Now friends, this is very important. Ishanu Katha, discourses relating to God and His devotees. Isha Anukatha. Isha means God. Anukatha, discourses. Sometimes Sri Ramakrishna is also telling, all the time repeat the holy name of God. In Vedanta, there is no Diksha. That's why the Tantra, another section of the spiritual practice, the Tantra initiated Diksha, Mantra Diksha. Take the name of God from a very good person. How you will know the good person? He is unselfish and not having any desire, selfish desire. That is a good person. Anyone, anywhere. These are the two criteria. He is not having any desire for these worldly things and very unselfish. He is a good person. So that if you take the mantra, God's name from him, just go on repeating that. And then whenever there is an opportunity, study the books or talk about God, discuss about God, listen about God. That is called Ishanukata. What will happen? All your thoughts, which is creating desire, will be stopped in one place. Because you are giving another force in your mind. And that is the reason one should go on. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, repeating and singing the glory of God. Through the songs, some people are there like the Ram Prasad. He only sang. Mirabai only sang. And he went on praying. You are giving the darshan to everyone, why not to me? She'll be crying and crying. And that is called Ishanukatha. And Nirodha. Nirodha means dissolution. Well, when the dissolution, the same Supreme God, after having the game, the divine play of all these things, suddenly he may think, oh enough, let me take rest. Again he will close his eyes. Jagannatha, that image you have seen, all of you. Jagannatha, he is the Supreme Lord of the universe. But he is not having the eyelids, have you noticed? He is having two big eyes, but no eyelids. Why? The moment the God will close his eyes, and that is Nirodha, dissolution. And that is the reason. We don't know. Some painters will be painting big eyes and all that. And that God is not having hands, that God is not having legs, and not having the eyelids also. What is this? Jagannath. But he is the master of the universe. Jagat Natha. Natha means the master. Jagat means the universe. And how this master can go to his universe without leg? Because he is already present. And how the master will work? Through will. But the creation, because he is looking, the moment the eye will close, Nirodha. Nirodha. Nirodha means completely cessation. And ultimately it comes Mukti. Mukti is for the jivas. And properly understanding about this creation. So why we are discussing about the creation? Because I should understand this creation. So these are the things, only 5, 5, 5, 5, like that, and plus 4, 24 things are there. And these 24 things, no, I am not interested. I want to know the person, the being, the God who created these 24 things. And that is called mukti. The moment that desire will come, that is called mukti, without any other things. Any fraction of your mind thinking that if I could see the face of my grandchild before my death, again you have to come back. It's a good desire, but desire that will bound. Anything of this world, oh, once in my next life, once if I can enter into that White House and can sit in that Oval room, I don't know what, next life again, you'll see from somewhere you are competing and we are giving the vote. So that way again in the Oval House you will go. So that is the way you have to have any desire. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, if you have any desire to eat, eat, complete it. And if you have any desire to visit, go and see. And then tell your mind, oh mind, this is this. And then give it up, once for all. Don't repeat it. That is called the practice. And where we are going to go? Last, the 10th one, Astraya. Astraya is that Supreme God. Now friends, let me conclude this particular chapter by quoting the 13th verse. Now here, the devotion God is creating, but how He is creating? Again we switch back to knowledge. Eko nanatvam anichat. Eko nanattam anichan yoga talpat samuttitaha viryam hiranmayam devo mayaya vasrijat trida. Mayaya vasrijat trida. Eko, the one, all-pervading, all-powerful, Parameshwara. If you go to listen to the discourses on the knowledge, they will also say ego, only one and no two. Here also ego, the devotion, but only ego. Then that ego, that one, without two, nanatvam anichat. Nanatvam anichan means being desirous of assuming various forms. Being desirous of assuming various forms, yoga talpat samuttitaha. He left his seat of meditation as if he was not having any, suddenly the desire came, so he got up. Because the moment the desire will come, action will start. So he got up from the seat of meditation and started doing how? Divided himself through his mystical power, divine power. That's called Mayaya, Vasrijat, divided Tridha, in three different ways, three divisions. The same God, as if took out his power and made three different sections. What is that? Adi Daiva, Adhyatma, Adi Bhuta. So the Hindus, after all the holy actions, puja and anything, they will say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The three Shanti. Let you be having good relation with this tree. What is that? Adi Daiva, the divine, the celestial. Then Adhyatma, the human being. And Adi Bhuta, the materials, matters. These are the three things. But in between these two, this matter and the celestial, who stands? Human being. Why it is so special? Shankaracharya, he is giving 5 the stotras dedicating to only to tell in his Vivek Chudamani, the human life is so precious, so wonderful. Please don't waste it. Please don't waste it. How you waste? Ahamkara. I am so and so. I won't go over there. I don't like this. I don't like that. So foolish. So that's why he is telling Atmoha. You are killing yourself. Having these three. So this way, the Adhyatma, the human being, because the God has given a wonderful gift, the gift of discrimination, and we understand the whole thing is changing. My grandfather, he is dead and gone. All his things, people have forgotten. My father, dead and gone. Everything has been forgotten. People will also forget me completely. My generation will never remember me. So that is the thing. Sometimes people will have the picture and they will hang over there or keep, and that the next generation will come and see. And maybe after 2 or 3 generations they will come and say, who is this ugly looking man? And his mom will say, I don't know, maybe he entered into our family anyway. You are creating this family and then your progeny will come and ask you in that way. It may. So that is the thing. Friends, we have to understand this, and that is why these classes. Why these classes? This is Bhagavata, is a way to liberation. This is mukti. How to get the liberation? Just by this understanding. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry I took another 5 minutes extra. Let us chant this sloka and then we conclude. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakrama Upanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogina Yasyantam Nabidu Surasuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Friends, I'd like to announce, because it is final. We are going to celebrate the 125th anniversary of Vivekananda's historic speech in the Parliament of Religion in 1893. That will be in September in 28, 29 and 30th. 28 and 29, it will be in Ganges. And 4 of our Swamis, they are speaking about religion from different angle. And then on 30th, we will come, all of us, from Ganges and go to the Meadows Club. And there it will be a fall banquet. And this particularly, our 4 Swamis will be there, and the 4 speakers who are coming from different religion, Catholic, Protestant, Muslim and Jew, they will also be there speaking about their religion. And there will be wonderful music and dances. So almost 3 songs will be there and 4 dances. And of course I can tell you secretly, the food that they give is very sumptuous. So only in the Ganges retreat, it is $100 because 2 days we are doing, not 3 days. And this particular, it has a donation like 100, 300, 500 and 1000. Those will be giving the 1000 and 500, etc. We will give them some special gift of Swami Vivekananda's photo and etc. etc. Because this fall banquet is also like our fundraising, and there is one time in the year we get some fund for the maintenance. You are most welcome. Thank you very much. Please have some food. Are you ready? I have some food and then go and come again.